Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today we have the rising star of hip-hop. It is
Scarlett Starr.
Boom, baby. So kick back with us for the next hour and a half and a little bit more, and we're going to talk music. We're going to find out all about Scarlett Starr, and this is a track of hers called Versatile. Let's do it. Bang.
Praise God that change is coming.
You will never catch me work no 9 to 5. Took my whole life just to realize gotta do better things with my life if I'm ever gonna be able to feel alright. Yeah, these bitches just been testing me, huh? I'm gonna show y'all that I'm versatile. I can rap, and I can sing.
I love you, bitch.
I don't wanna work as no modern slave, relying on my boss for an hourly wage. Even if it's risky, I'd rather be this way, because I know tomorrow will be a brighter day. I worked the subway, then I got fired. Couldn't show up to work for being too tired. Then I went in them streets, on them drugs I was wired. And it didn't take long until I got hired. Working at PetSmart, slaving with the dogs. Don't get me wrong, I love that job. But when I come home and don't have any energy, I realize I let the place get the best of me. I need some space, and I needed some time to go home, write a song, get things aligned. I got goals, don't wanna be here for my life. I got things I gotta do, don't you know that I tried? I just wanna show these bitches, you can't fuck with me, 'cause I'm versatile.
I love you, Poppy.
Tried to work a normal job and live ordinarily, but then there always came a problem monetarily. I gotta see myself through, I know what is best for me. I feel the whole world is working with the enemy. It's the devil's advocate. It's the devil's advocate. It's the devil's advocate. I need some space and I needed some time to go home, write a song, get things aligned. I've got goals, don't wanna be here my life. I got things I gotta do, don't you know that I tried? Devil's advocate.
I love you, bitch.
Hello, welcome to the show. My name is Jade. This is How to App on iOS. I hope you're all doing well. It's Friday here in Australia. I'm super excited because I get a day off tomorrow and it's interview time. And you guys know how much I love this time of the week. I don't have to learn anything. I just get to sit down and chat with somebody incredibly creative, listen to their music and find out all about who they are and how they rock and roll or hip hop and hole. What the hell am I talking about? I never know. And that's awesome. So today, as normal, well, not always normal, but today's show is once again sponsored by our friends at DistroKid. And let me just bring up the right page because let me tell you about them quickly before we get into the show. DistroKid is the place to go to release your music across all of the places. Yeah, all of them. And I'm talking about Spotify, Apple, Amazon, all the major places, Tidal, you name it, they're there. And even the ones that you don't know, YouTube Music, there's even ones that I've still never heard of. They're constantly adding streaming services to their wonderful platform. You can even use your music on Facebook and TikTok, and you can even do it on Snapchat and Instagram. It's wicked. You just search for your name, for your song, and there it is, and you can add it to any of your videos and stuff like that. But they have 3 plans, and here they are right here. And just remember, for these plans, you can use my code, which is over there, distrokid.com/VIP/Jade Starr, and you'll get 7% off your first year off any of these plans. And then the year after, you'll be paying full price. Yeah. But you're looking at $22.99 for the musician plan, which gives you one artist, unlimited songs to upload your lyrics, Spotify verified checkmark, Spotify video art generator, hyperfollow links, create royalty splits with other artists, free promo videos, and you can use the app as well, which is always available on the App Store to use. And there's 3 plans, musicians plus you get 2 artists. Ultimate plan, you get 5 artists, yeah, which is the one I use. But we will come back and talk a little bit more about DistroKid a little bit later in the show because, as we say always on the show here, you ready? I love you, DistroKid. It's me and DistroKid. We're in a relationship. It's the longest relationship I've actually ever had. In fact, if I could put a ring on it, I would. So thank you, DistroKid, for sponsoring the show. Let's come back over here. Oh, there we are. And, all right, so I came across this particular artist perusing the multitude of shows that we have here on YouTube that feature people's music. I think it was probably Clay's channel that I first came across this artist and was like, hang on a minute. We got another great female artist in our midst because there's not enough. And whenever I find a new female artist, I am like, give me some of that, man, because you guys know I'm all about promoting female artists above the male ones. It is what it is. And and then I started listening to her music and was like, holy hell, this is the schnizzle. And so I had to get her on. And because one of her shows, I listened to part of her story and was like, man, I really want to find out more about this incredible artist. So I reached out, and before long, here we are sitting here. Andy says, wow, so unfair. Life's cruel, Andy. It is what it is. So without further ado, let me bring on the incredible artist who you just heard from at the start of the show. Make sure everything's good. Welcome to the show, everybody. Please, Scarlett Starr. Hello, Scarlett. How are you?
Hello.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
All right. So have you done many interviews before?
Yeah, I've done one interview with Dog Pound Reactions.
How did that go?
It went good.
Yeah? Were you talkative?
Yeah.
What did you cover in that interview that I should know about in this?
Well, we kind of covered like how I began my entrepreneurship. So I'm not just an artist, but I'm an entrepreneur too. So I believe in working for yourself. I've always been that type of person, who when I had a job, I would just work there for like 3 weeks and then quit because I don't like being told what to do. I don't like, anything like that. So I just decided, I would rather be broke and homeless than working for anybody else. And that's how I started growing my businesses as an entrepreneur. And then I realized a little bit into my entrepreneurship that if I'm going to be doing this, why don't I just start my music career? So I'm kind of on disability, so that kind of gives me this option. I have SSI that comes in every single month that pays all my bills and takes care of me. So every job I've ever worked, it was kind of like I was breaking even after paying gas. I wasn't able to make more than what my check gave me. So I just decided, hey, I'd rather have spare change coming in through my entrepreneurship and keep my bills paid this way than working for somebody else, and then it would take away the disability check that I get, and I'd be screwed, and I wouldn't have time to do anything that I'm doing.
Now, I've lived in America for a period of time, and, I follow a lot of American news and politics and all that kind of stuff. It's tough going, man, in the States. A lot of people work in 2 to 3 jobs to live there and they're still behind because the healthcare system there is pretty non-existent unless you got a job that pays you peanuts. So I totally...
Yeah, and I have a felony on my record, so because of my felony, no job will hire me. I mean, I literally got turned down to work at the 99-cent store.
Oh, what?
They won't hire me. Like, The only places that will hire me are fast food restaurants that pay like $8 an hour, and it's not even enough to survive off of.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's ridiculous. Here in Australia, I forget what our minimum wage is, but it's like it's almost double what America's is. It's quite shocking, really, to see that. Plus, we're living in a post inconvenience world, the post COVID world, where everything has gone up too. So I don't know how people in the US are even surviving now with food the way food is. I bought food last night, and what used to cost me the same amount of food, I went and looked back at the same amount of food I was buying 2 years ago, same kind of stuff, because I'm really boring when it comes to food, was costing me $190, and yesterday it cost me $270. Like, how? Like, it's the same shit.
And Texas sucks because in Texas their minimum wage is still $7.50 an hour. So with frickin' bag of potatoes costing $5, how are you going to work for $7.50 an hour?
Exactly, and potatoes are staple. Like, you would think there would be like a restriction on things like that are staples, like potatoes. Anything like bread but no, these it's got to be reined in. I know we're straight away and Kim Hudson says straight away, oh yeah, she's in Texas. Yeah, Kim's from Texas as well.
Nice.
So we've got off straight away talking about stuff like this, and it's not political, but it is a world thing that we're facing because we're struggling artists. And, I can only imagine just the people that have jobs at this point with families, feeding all those whining mouths that need to be fed. All right, okay, let's move away from that. We'll talk more about your entrepreneurial stuff later on. I want to know, and hello to everybody here. We'll do shout outs very soon, like we normally do, about 25 to 30 minutes into the show. I want to know, what does music mean to you, Scarlett?
Well, music is kind of like everything to me. My mom told me when I was like 3 years old, I was singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star on pitch and everything. I've just been like, to me, I've been saying since I was like as old as I can remember that I was going to be a famous singer when I grow up. And it's just been something I've been dreaming about my entire life. And I've always looked at things like the sky is the limit. No matter what it is that you want to do in life, there's no limit on your success. As long as you believe, the sky's the limit, then the sky is the limit. So my music career just I started it out the blue. Like my very first song, I had someone else write lyrics for me because I was kind of dipping my toes in it. And I was like, wow, it's really not that hard. Because I've been writing song lyrics for years and years, but I never knew how to like write to a beat or anything. I had other people making my instrumentals. And after that, for about 5 months into it, I decided I was going to go to college for audio engineering. So I went for like a semester, and then I kind of was like, dang, why did I do this? I could have just learned all of this on YouTube. So like now I'm learning more. I know how to make my own instrumentals and everything, but I just decided after learning that it's easier to outsource, and have other people do it for me, even though I know how to do it because it just takes so much time for me. But yeah, I just got in the industry kind of spontaneously, decided that it's either now or never.
I really love that. I went, of course, I'm going to research people and went through a lot of your stuff and love the way you write about yourself because it's hard. It's a hard thing to do. I've done shows here on the channel about writing your blurb, writing your bio, self-promoting yourself. For a lot of people, it's a really hard thing to write about you and sell yourself. And you sell yourself with confidence. And now I'm not a hip hop artist or anything like that. My background's metal and pop music and a whole bunch of things. But you've kind of got to be ballsy in that industry, don't you? You've got to be upfront and be in your face and sell yourself like hard, yeah?
Yeah, and then also like I was thinking a while back, like when I was a kid, that I used to want to be a therapist, to help people through their problems. So how I decided to do that was kind of like, since I love music, might as well kind of be a therapist through music. you
Well,
know?
I agree with that. Went to school to be a psychologist, and got to the end of that and went, you know what? I'm already doing it. I'm already doing it. I'm doing it with lyrics. And there's two professions out there that are probably on a par with psychology, I believe, which is music and prostitution. And I've done both of them. And trust me, you counsel more people in prostitution than you have sex with, because there's a lot of lonely weirdos out there who just want to talk and can't get it up. Well, that went to a dark place quickly, as it always does on this channel. How do you, as a hip hop artist, compete in such a male-dominated space? Because it seems very, it does seem that way. How do you compete in there?
Well, to me, like I've always kind of felt like I've got like a tomboyish side of me, and I've always had a like no fucks given attitude. So when people like I've had a lot of people try to come at me sideways and come at me the wrong way in music, and I'm just like, fuck you, I don't care. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do. Like you can't stop me. Like if you don't like my music, click off, don't listen.
I hear that in your lyrics as well. Like, I think the first song I heard was the song we're closing with today. And I was like, damn, this girl, I'm scared of her already. like, lucky, like, I don't know, if I met you down a lane, well, I probably wouldn't be so scared. But just listen to your words. If I didn't see you, I'd be like, damn, I'm gonna get a bottle in my neck if I look sideways at this chick. I love that. I love that attitude, because music industry is a tough place to be for anyone, really, because there's, as you said. So, do you get a lot of hate? What kind of hate do you get? Give it? I want an example of some of the. What kind?
My teeth.
Really?
My teeth are one of the main ones. Like, and the thing is, like,
What?
I was bullied all the way through my school years. So to me, hate doesn't even affect me anymore. Like I dealt with it my entire life. People made fun of me for being crazy, for, having mental health problems. People made fun of me for just how I acted, because I was a little weird. In my middle school, I was so socially withdrawn that I used to knock on people's doors and ask them to hang out like every 5 minutes, and they just got tired of me because I was that weirdo that was always looking for friends. I wanted everybody to be my friend, and I was just bullied for that. So growing up, I just kind of got accustomed to it. So now when people say things like about my teeth, I already know. I'm like, well, I'm not the one with the problem. You're the one who's so focused on my teeth. You're the one who's so worried about what's inside my mouth. What do you got going on in your life?
Man, there's a lot of weirdos out there. There really are. Like, I don't understand the concept of, and I'm sure you get it on your channel. I'm sure many of us get it on the channel. Like, you put up something, you put up some music, you put up a video, and there's always got to be that those few people who just have to go, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's like,
And the one thing I've learned about that, over the years, is that the people that have so much time to complain about what someone else is doing, they're the ones that aren't doing anything.
or they're the ones who are jerking off over you secretly. Most, you know what I mean? Well, like, it's like homophobia. Most of the people who focus on it, or transphobia, like it's happening in the US at the moment. Like they had I saw a poll come out last week, and the biggest downloads of trans porn at the moment is in Texas, which I'm not shocked at. And it's all the lower end states where all the hatred's coming, but at the same time, that's where the most download. The people who hate the most are secretly going, oh, fuck, I want that so bad. I want it so bad. And I really just want it to. And it's such a. I feel sorry for people like that. I really feel sorry for them.
I learned also, like, your haters are really your biggest fans. You
Yeah.
know, they're the ones paying all your streaming revenue.
They're always watching, always watching for an update.
Yep.
Do you remember the music that was played in your household? Was there music played in your household? Did it inspire you as a kid?
Honestly, no.
When I was around 4 to 9 years old, I lived with my grandparents, and my grandmother wouldn't let us listen to anything but John Denver, freaking oldies, medieval babes, like medieval music. And I hated it, but like I was born and raised like in a really, really dirt south country, so we didn't really weren't around music. And once I hit like 10 years old and I was living with my mom, she wouldn't let us listen to any type of rap or anything. So I had like my iPod where I was secretly downloading the type of music that I liked. And I've always been like a very rebellious when I was a kid. So that kind of made me like hip hop even more because I resonated with the music and I wasn't allowed to listen to it. So since I wasn't allowed to listen to it, it made me want it more,
It's funny that, isn't it? The more people try and ban things and try and make them like, oh, but this is bad, so we've got to stop you from listening, doing all this, the more popular it gets. Like anything that people like put into the spotlight and go, but no, we can't have it. It's like it just opens the door for more people. Now, you probably are not old enough to be, or you're probably really young back in the, when was it? So was it the 90s? Late 80s, early 90s, I think, when the PMRC was around in the US. And there was a whole bunch of Republican women in the US who rallied to put stickers on all CDs of parental, that's where the parental advisory came in, and they took records off the shelves. Ice-T, all the way through to metal bands, everyone copped it. And they were like, no, you can't listen to this shit. And it was like, motherfucker, piss off. Really, I don't need like a bunch of mums who are homeschooling their kids telling me what I can fucking listen to. And it's coming around again.
And the thing about it, like kids are going to do what they want. Like the more you try to keep them from doing something, the more they're going to sneak around and do it behind your back. Like I'd rather like my kids, let me know what they're doing so I can monitor what they're doing and they can trust me with whatever they're doing than having to sneak behind my back and do things because I won't let them.
Absolutely. Look, you can't change kids. No matter what your age, and I'm sure everybody in the chat will agree, no matter what your age, we all grew up and we all snuck out the window. We all did it, right? And the funny thing is, it's almost like some parents forget that they did it as well. And it's a thing that's passed down. Like it's like eating food every day. You need to do it. Kids sneak out the window and do it, and the more you try and stop them, it's just going to continue to happen. So no music. So you John Denver though. Did John Denver stick with you?
I honestly like John Denver. But I was forced to listen to it for so long. I like a few of his songs, but it's just like. It's not really my type of music, like I like it and I could even sing it, but like I can remember some of his lyrics and I liked them. Yeah, I liked them, but I really, really honestly don't have like a specific preference when it comes to music. I can listen to any type of music, but I just prefer like in my artistic style is I like rap, hip hop, and pop. And I've just now kind of branched off just slightly into the rock industry. And I'm just not that good at it in my opinion, because like I'm more of like the heavy auto-tune hip hop beats type of person. And I vibe with it a lot better. So I like all music, but I don't create all music.
Do you remember the first album that you purchased?
It was a Shania Twain album.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you still have it?
No.
You say that with kind of disdain. Are you not a fan anymore?
No, not really. I think like the only song I really like from her is the Man, I Feel Like a Woman.
It's funny, I was watching this really crazy, I follow some really weird channels on YouTube, and there's these channels called Transpiracies, right? Where they're conspiracy channels, and they think that everyone all these people are all trans, but they're not. right? And they call them transvestigations. It's so weird. These people are so messed up. And they do these documentaries on actual not trans people that they think are trans. And they did a special on Shania Twain. And one of the comments went, I knew it when I heard that song. Man, I feel like a woman. Like,
that like reminds me of what they're also doing. They're saying things like, all famous people are freaking clones.
Yeah. This
like that doesn't make any sense. Like, what? Just because somebody's famous, like, and you feel like that's beyond belief that they must be something, extraterrestrial.
I think we took a wrong. I think humanity took a wrong turn at Albuquerque somewhere along the way there. We've got a little bit lost, and there's some really wackadoodle things out there people think. So Shania Twain, what format was that on a CD?
Yeah, I actually like Shania Twain, but I don't like her like I used to. I just don't. I can't resonate with the music anymore.
Right. So what was I going to ask about Shania Twain? I got offered tickets to go and see her at one point to do a review, and I turned it down because I didn't think it was going to be a fair review because I didn't like her music, and I don't think that's the right thing for somebody to go and review her. What about so any other CDs that you recall? What about one that was given to you as a gift? Do you remember one that was given to you as a gift?
I was never given a gift, but I will tell you that one of my favorite CDs that I've ever bought was the Eminem Recovery CD. And that was once I reached, like an age where I was able to go out and buy things myself because I was allowed to listen to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really rarely owned any CDs because in my childhood, I was able, I just kind of listened to everything on an iPod.
Yeah, so you missed the whole. I'm guessing you came in at the end of the CD revolution. Where were you using a LimeWire account and stuff like that back in the day?
Yeah, I used LimeWire, downloaded all my music,
and it took about 10 hours to download one song.
Yeah, but that's how I was always getting all the music. My mom didn't know what I was listening to.
There you go. So thank you, LimeWire. If you're listening out there, the creator, wherever you are, probably in jail these days. Who knows? After Lazarick tried to destroy his career. We're going to play a song and come back and keep talking. And then we'll say hello to everybody here in the chat. I want to thank you all. So there's 28 of you here. Thank you very much for being here. My friends, you guys rock. And I'm going to choose Come Alive Again. Do you want to tell me about this song before I play this?
Yeah, that Come Alive Again was one of the songs I wrote for people that are battling suicidal thoughts and depression, because I go through it on a regular basis. Sometimes I just get really depressed, and that's like exactly what the song title says, Come Alive Again, bringing me back from the dead, basically, whatever I'm feeling, because I feel like I don't want to be here. I feel empty. But yeah, that's what the song is about. And I met this really cool guy in Denmark. His name is Dalama, and he made the instrumental for me.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad that you're coming alive every day. Yeah. And I'm sure everybody else here who's a fan of yours is thankful for that too. Let's play this. Folks, grab a drink, grab your beverage of poison, kick back and relax, because we're going to play Come Alive Again right now by our guest, Scarlett, Starr, and we'll be back shortly. Let's do it. Boom.
Baby, baby, can we go fast? Can we go slow? Make me come alive again. Make me lose control. Baby, baby, can we go fast? Can we go slow? Make me come alive again. Make me lose control. Baby, baby.
Like I've lost myself, almost feel like I'm someone else. Feel so lost and out of places that we're staying anyway. The This world is so overlooked, all the violence got me shook. Can we ever live again? Will I ever know who's my friend? Sometimes I get tired of breathing, don't even know what to believe in. Enemies are trying to churn the fire, but I pray that I'll be lifted up higher. I can be. It's hard when they're all against me. I just gotta stay true to me. I know I'll reach my destiny. What is life without a passion? When the whole world is wreaking havoc, trying not to be such a savage, but the pain inside is so hard to manage. Feel like the enemy tried to get me, tried so hard to condemn me. I just wanna live my fantasy, love the life I've always dreamed. Is that too much to ask? Cause no one got my back. I guess it's true that when you chase your dreams, you're gonna be lonely. It seems there's nobody here. Sometimes I wanna die. I feel like maybe I'm living a lie. Does the world even have a point? Or am I reaching my ending point? My ending point.
Make me come alive again. Make me lose control.
All this hate in the world, it needs to cease. All this anger and pain, negative energy. We all are only human, but yet we're hurting each other. Did you forget that we were all once sisters and brothers? I'm trying to live my life, but it's hard. Sometimes I just pray, look up to the stars. I wonder how long I have to stay here. Because sometimes I don't want to be here. It's all because I wanna take myself out, but I know I can't. I've got a purpose. I've gotta think of other people. There's people out there who need me. There's people out there who need me. Things we do to each other, would you do to your father or your mother?
Awesome track. And it's a consistent thing that's going through your songs. That you are very real, yeah? And, you know, I do seek out music that personally, it doesn't really matter what style. I like all styles of music, except, I'm not even going to say except, because that's negative. But anything that's real and hits the bone and pulls no punches, I really love, because there's not enough of it. We really live in a world at the moment where so much music is about product placement and just nothing. People are singing about nothing these days, and it's little wonder that we're in the place that we're at. Do you remember the first big gig that you ever went to, like a stadium show or anything, like a really big artist? No?
No. Mhm.
Have you not been to a big performance like that before?
I went to one when I was a teenager.
Yeah? Are you too embarrassed? You don't want
Yeah,
to say?
it's a little embarrassing.
Is it Hanson?
I went to go see the Jonas Brothers.
Well, that's not that bad. I thought you were going to say Hanson or something. Come on.
No, it was the Jonas Brothers.
That's all right. That's all right. Hey, you know, you got to go through those moments. You know what I'm saying? You know, to get to that's it. I mean, I went and saw Milli Vanilli, and that was that was fucking shocking. That was one of the most shocking things. I saw Vanilla Ice as well, Ice Baby, and that was fucking terrible. That was one of the worst shows I've ever seen in my fucking life. It was so bad. I've had better shits, I have to admit. Of course, Chad Freeman says, "Hey."
In my defense, though, that concert was not my choice.
Well, that's okay then. Chad's getting upset here. Don't badmouth Hanson, Jade. All right, Chad. It's all good. It's all right, Chad. I'm a Britney fan. Relax, mate.
I like Britney Spears.
Same thing. I have every one of Britney's albums. People are always shocked when they hear that. They're like, what? Are you a metalhead? It's like, hey, give credit where credit is due. You know, that Britney changed music. You know, her style was completely unique. Her look was amazing. She took the world by storm. And then what happens when somebody does that? The whole world turned on her and drove her nuts. It's, you know, and she still rules. I don't give a shit. She still looks hot. She still writes great music. And even though people tried to drive her completely insane, she still is amazing. And you got to give her kudos for that. Leela writes, free Britney. Let's say hello to everyone who's here. So we got Rise of Dark Leela, whose birthday it is today. So happy birthday to you, Leela. And let's go through. DOA is here. Andy, Chad Freeman, who's got his own emoji, as well as Scarlett today. Falcon Blueser, what's going on? Pookie's here. Hello to you. Conspiracy, thank you for gifting 5 subs as 5 memberships. And who else do I see? So type something in the chat for me, guys. Help me find your name. D. Michael, what's going on? Joe is here as well. Thomas Christ. I saw Russ here. I'm just scrolling up to see if I can get. So type something in the chat so I can find you. Tremor Bears there as well. Hambo Hounslow, hello to you. Who else do we see? Just let me know if you're here in the chat. I know there's many more that I've missed. Gregory S11 has written something in the chat because always somebody has to write that. And let me just scroll up a bit. I see I can't go up any higher to see any more people. So thank you all for being here. We'll catch up.
I gotta use the bathroom.
Awesome. Off you go then.
All right.
Off you go. While you're gone. I love this. Do you guys want to hear another track while we're doing this? Let's hear another track because I've got plenty to play. So let's do it. I love hearing artist music. What can I choose that'll be like kind of in the vein of I need to go to the bathroom? Okay. I'm gonna play Hang In There. I love it. This is a first. Let's play another track. You ready, guys? We'll play Hang In There. Let's do it. You ready? I'm not. I'm all over the place. Let me mute this. Let me bring this up. And we're ready to go. You ready, guys? Let's play Hang In There. Boom! Get the right button. Let's do it.
You got this. Hang in there. Hang in there. No, you may feel alone. I know you think there's nowhere to go. And right now you're not on your throne. Hang in there. Somewhere in tear. I know there's nobody there. I've been there, I know it's not fair. We all want people to care. Hang in there, that can get hard. If you don't play your cards, you wonder will you ever get far? Will I ever get far? You feel like your life is a puzzle. It's always an everyday struggle. I know you're just trying to hustle. But hang in there. I've been through these things myself. Days were always bad on my health. I was always feeling overwhelmed. And I felt damned. But I just want you to understand that what you think you can, you really can. And you will. Yeah, you will. Hang in there. I know you lost your sense of self. You're looking elsewhere than someone else, but you got nobody to impress. Hang in there. Be your own friend, don't worry about them. Deep down somewhere you are a gem. They're just hating, don't worry about them. Keep elevating, you got this, I know you hang in there. You got this. You hang in there.
Again, super powerful stuff. You were quick. I hope you washed your hands.
Yep, I always do. I'm at my own house. I don't need to wash my hands.
I love this show, man. I love this show. You never know what's going to happen, and that's what makes it so much fun. So when you're at school, were you offered like music lessons at school through, because here in Australia where we have like all the way through school, we're forced to play the recorder from a young age at school here.
Well, I actually did have music lessons, and I had a coach named Eric Bruner, and he actually had the same coach as Michael Jackson and Christina Aguilera.
Oh, wow.
And he trained the Cheetah Girls before one of their concerts.
And how did you go with that? Like, how long were you doing that?
About a year.
Yeah. And,
Mhm.
and did you get benefits from it? Did it help?
Yeah, I learned some techniques. One of them is the blowfish. So you kind of like
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and then there's another one. It's like you plug your nose and you're like, ding, 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 ding.
Well, I used to teach singing, so I know those very well, and I love it because you get to watch people look like a dick, and it's very helpful. I try and mention this all the time. Even if people don't get involved in like taking a lot of singing lessons, it is helpful to go and take some singing lessons if you are even attempting to sing. Because you don't have to sit there and become a professional and do all this stuff, but to get some tips on breathing and exercises and things like that, and to understand your weaknesses and strengths so you can sing within your scale and then understand when to get out of your scale. Would you say that's for anybody who's like wanting to sing? Do you think that's a wise thing to take lessons, and how would you go about finding a singing teacher? That's a really hard thing because you have to gel with them as well.
Even the professional singers, they have lessons before their shows. Like, it's not about learning to sing. It's about keeping your voice, your passageways clean and clear, because you can easily strain your voice by using it wrong.
Absolutely, because we're different than a guitar. We're a living instrument. And it comes down to two. Like when I used to teach, I would talk about eating and sleeping habits. They're really important as well. If you're eating shit and not hydrating enough, and you're sleeping 2 hours a night, it's going to have an effect because you're a living vessel, And these things are important. And I say that, and I only get about 5 hours sleep a night, which is disgusting. But, Andy's put here, posture, these things are important, and people don't think about it. They think it's all about learning scales and reading music and all this stuff. That's bullshit. It's about understanding how you work as a human being and knowing your limitations and how to push them. So on one of the shows I saw you on, you were talking about your upbringing. Did you have a tough upbringing?
Yeah. I was abused through my whole childhood, sexually, physically, and emotionally. So that is a lot of the reason why I look to music to heal, because that's what helped me when I was going through all of that stuff. But yeah, I was abused through my whole childhood, basically. Like my grandmother was physically abusive. She used to pull us up by our hair off the floor, throw us around into the bed. Like I hit my head and got a concussion one time. My grandfather used to sexually molest us every single night, like every night, all the way from like age 4 to 9. And I went through that. And I was sexually abused before I went to go live with my grandparents at 3 or 4 years old. And by the time I was like 15, like I was living with my mom from 10 to 15 years old, and I was being raped at 15 on the streets because I used to sneak out every night and I got raped a lot. And yeah, so my whole childhood was pretty much nothing but abuse. And I was in and out of mental hospitals all the way from 10 to even now. Like sometimes I still have to go to the hospital, but all the way from 10 to 15, I was in and out of residential treatment centers. So by the time I was 17, I left my mom's house and I was on the streets and I was doing heavy drugs. You know, I was out there wild, just smoking crack, smoking meth, shooting up drugs. And I didn't quit until I was about 19. And at that point, you know, that's when I realized that if I didn't quit, I was going to die. You know, and I was like, well, it's either keep doing the drugs and die or quit and live. And that's when I decided to change my life.
We live in a wicked world. And I don't know, how do you process this kind of stuff? Like, I mean, you talk about it now, like obviously you've had you've obviously had time to process this to some degree. How does somebody so young, like, how did you cope through, like, were there coping mechanisms for somebody so young? Were there things you could find solace in?
Honestly, like when I was doing all that stuff, like I never really coped. I just kind of put it out of my mind, you know, and I still haven't really coped from all of it. So that's why I put it in my music and deal with it through that. And sometimes it's even hard for me to go back and listen to my own music and my own lyrics because it can still be traumatizing.
It's amazing. Firstly, I'm so sorry that you have had to endure that. There are throwaway things in life that people say, what doesn't kill us make us stronger, and it's such a shit saying to have to have to deal with this kind of stuff. It amazes me that humans can just continue to be so cruel. What do you think from your experience? Now you've had for a 24-year-old on this planet, you've lived a life from hearing that is much more than your boring, plain Jane suburban family has lived at 50 years. Why do you think people do this kind of shit? Why would somebody do this, do you think?
I feel like people who do this stuff, you know, they also have problems of their own that they haven't worked through. You know, like the abusers have been abused in their childhood and their past, and they haven't been able to break the cycle.
Yeah, that's a thing. And it amazes me too that I guess, is it because people don't, you know, so much of throughout history, people have not talked about this stuff that it continues, because I hear you talking about it and I know this ain't going to be a thing you're going to do. Do you think now that we have a platform that we are able to talk about it more freely and even like this on a social platform and just bearing our souls, that hopefully this stops these patterns, because they've been going on for centuries, you know?
I don't think it'll ever stop, honestly. I feel like, you know, there's always going to be people out there that do terrible things, and the only way to stop them is to lock them up.
Yeah, we were having a conversation in this little Clubhouse group. I mean, I think it was yesterday. We were talking about, you know, people who abuse children and serial killers. And I was saying that, you know, you can try and treat this, but just like someone who's gay or just like someone who's trans, sometimes you just program that way, and there's no way to fix that. And maybe we do need a system where, I don't know, we move those people to work in the sewerage plants so they can shovel shit for the rest of their fucking lives and deal with the shit that they've caused for others.
Yeah, because like you may be able to stop some people, but the thing is, like, people are always being born and die every day. So you might have a society where everything is fixed, but then you have everybody who has kids, and then there's millions more people here, and it's gonna keep going on. Like, there's no way to stop everybody from being abusive or doing those types of things to people, because it's just gonna be rebirth. There's always gonna be that around.
Yeah, totally. And so you hit 17, and you're doing meth and stuff, and I've done similar. I've been hooked on drugs, and especially meth, for a while. And how do you overcome it? Because it's a really hard drug to kill. Once you're on it, it really takes control. It sure does. Even if you're taking small amounts and you're telling yourself, yeah, but I'm only doing it takes control, and it fucks with your sleep patterns, and it fucks with your head, and you start fucking hearing things that aren't fucking there. Did you get to that point where you're doing drugs and you're starting to fucking lose your mind?
Oh yeah. I was so bad. I mean, I was on drugs for weeks at a time without eating or sleeping. I was passing out in the middle of the road. It was really bad. I was 120 pounds, just skeleton. It was to the point, that's why, like, for me, I was one of the rare people that it was a mind over matter for me, because no rehab ever helped me. Because as soon as I got out of rehab, I would just go right back to drugs. It was just a choice in my mind that I knew that if I didn't stop, I was going to die.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just kind of quit cold turkey. It was just one of those decisions that I made, and it happened for everything. Like meth, I quit meth, and then I started smoking crack. And then after a while, I stopped crack and I went to smoking fake weed, like Kush and stuff like that. And I just kept switching from one addiction to the next until I realized that nothing was going to work for me. I started having like seizures and strokes and stuff like that. So I was just like, you know what? I cannot do this anymore. I used to cry myself to sleep every single night, knowing that I may not wake up the next day.
Yeah, I was the same. I stopped, and and the funny thing was, I'd been around, especially when I was in the US for a time, I'd been around a lot of people who had really strong meth addictions, and I was watching them unravel in real time, where they were fucking hearing voices in their heads, and they were like saying, like, they'd come and knock on my door at 2 a.m. and go, "Can you hear that? Quick, come outside." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And they take me outside and they go, "Can you hear that girl yelling help?" And it's like, it's dead fucking silent. What the fuck? And so I kind of saw people starting to lose their mind. And when I was using it, there was a couple of days where I thought I heard something fully going on and was like, oh my God, it's happening to me. And that was enough to make me stop, because I'd seen other people lose it.
I was so bad. Like, I was outside and I was running down the street thinking that the cartel was chasing me. And I was flagging down cars and getting into strangers' cars, telling them, they're chasing me. I was in people's houses looking through the blinds 24/7 because I thought there was people outside. I could hear noises.
Yep.
I thought for like 24 hours I was staring at a freaking stop sign thinking that stop sign was somebody watching me.
Yeah. It's definitely a thing with that drug. And it's interesting. I don't think it's the drug. I think it's the sleep deprivation that your mind starts playing tricks, because, the drug just keeps you awake. That's all it does. But it's the being awake for 4 days straight is when the deprivation kicks in and you start to hallucinate and hear shit that just ain't fucking there. And the hard thing is too, people don't know how to respond. They just think you're crazy. And they don't understand the way drugs work. And because drugs, hey man, I'm all for drugs. If people want to take drugs, take them, but always take them in moderation. Do them very small amounts. Take them in moderation. Don't have control, which is a hard thing. So you break the cycle there. Where do you go from this? What's your next move after all of this shit? Getting in the cars with people, thinking stop signs are watching you, going through all this abuse from all these people. What happens when you stop?
Well, when I stopped, luckily I was able to get on housing, with Section 8. So I was able to get out of all of the environments that were causing me all these issues. Really, like I said, it was just basically a mind over matter. But I do think that if I was still homeless and on the streets, that there's a possibility that I would still be doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to stay away from something when you can't get away from the situation that you're in. But for me, it was just like everything happened so quickly. Once I stopped doing drugs, and when I was on the streets, I had even been sober then, but I was still smoking weed, But once I got into my apartment, it kind of gave me a stable place to be where I could focus my attention on other things besides survival.
It's bizarre how it works. Now, people on this channel know my story and my health issues and stuff. And I ended up homeless in 2018 and was living in a fucking park. And, my whole life, I've always had a house and a job and all this kind of stuff, right? And then to lose everything, it changes your genetic code. And once you get a house, like I have now, so since I've been in this house here, every small thing means so much. Like this last couple of weeks, I've been buying furniture and stuff and just coming downstairs and looking at it and going, look at that sofa. And most people would just be like, that's a sofa, whatever. But once you lose everything and you fight for everything that you have, everything means so much more and you never want to go back. Do you feel like you're on, like I do, I know I do. I feel like I'm on edge all the time. I'm protecting this little space of mine so much. I don't ever want to be in that situation again. Do you find yourself constantly, thinking about what if that happens again?
Not really. I just kind of look forward to everything now.
Yeah.
I've had this place now for about 4 or 5 years. So I do constantly focus on keeping the place, making sure that I don't end up where I was. But I do that by looking forward and figuring out how I'm going to keep escalating, elevating, So I'm happy and content with what I have now, but at the same time, like I want to gain more, So I have plans now on how I'm going to get out of this apartment and get into a bigger place, a bigger house. I just believe, in always elevating your lifestyle. Like there's always room for improvement no matter where you are in life. You could be living in a big mansion and have a made career, and there's always still going to be room for improvement.
And now, see, I'm pissed off even more because, as we said at the start of the show, people message you and have a go at your fucking teeth, right? Hey, if you're watching this fuckhead, listen to this story. There's something you can fucking learn from this, yeah? People are much more than what the small things that you think, the small imperfections, which to everybody else is absolutely perfect, right? These battles that artists like yourself share with people, you should be taking note of this instead of hating so much. Although, I don't know, you kind of like your haters because they do provide more views. So, but at the same time, I think people really should take stock. And that's one of the reasons I do these interviews, because there's people behind these screens, who have real life experience and things that have fucking can be brutal. Everything you type online to somebody has a cause and effect, we're going to play a song, and then we're going to come back and talk about our sponsor. Then we're going to get into more of how you create music and stuff like that. I want to just say thank you. Look, thank you so much for sharing that. It takes a lot to share, you know. It was one of the reasons, not only your music, when I heard your music, thanks to Clay and Chad on his Facebook group, and then I already knew there was some kind of backstory, and then I heard you talk about it on another stream. Was just like, fuck, there's a brave soul right there. Sharing yourself like that. It takes a lot to do that. And so thank you so much for that. We're gonna play By You. Do you want to tell us a little bit about this song?
So this song is like for those that are battling with relationship struggles, you know, for the guy or the girl. That's why I really like this song, because this is like shows the girl and the guy's part of the story. So in this song, it's the guy who's, you know, struggling to let go of a relationship struggle, and the girl who's already moved on and found someone else. And just this kind of a way to heal people who are either going through, you know, losing someone that you love, or somebody who's trying to move on from a relationship that's not good for them.
All right, let's do it, folks. Are you ready? This is By You. Let's do it.
People change, no, it's sad to say, always been this way. Maybe something wrong with me, I had to leave. Was it right for me? Now I'm happy, and I can say I'm happy.
Impossible, this feeling, my gosh, it's so irresponsible. It's awesome though, knowing I caught you's been so phenomenal, so borderline implausible. I'm sorta kinda lost, you know, you've got me forever. We can afford the time, there's lots to go. Impress you with the floss and no, you're not the type to be sold by the cost of dough, or jewelry, or neck chains, or with a frosted throat. Head games, the last guy that tried that, when you done tossed him out. Exhausted though by what your friends saying, just trying to cause you doubt. It's toxic, yo. Weight of my life, for there's not a day that goes by that it's not completely surreal. And when I gaze into your eyes, it's just amazing. You know I meet your requirements. All that heat that's between us, let's see how steaming the fire gets. All this fiending for me, I think we should see and just try. And it's all a dream that led me to think it's been me you're desiring. Like a scene from a teen of it. Ask a queen, feel alive, and I've been asleep on my feet again. Seem I need a podiatrist, redefining this. Green light, we're a team tight, now I'm falling. I'm in free flight, but I'm all in. It's extreme right, head revolving. Spinning me like you're enthralling. And your dream like I've been drawn in by your sweet side. A complete ride, no more stalling.
People change, no, it's sad to say, always been this way. Maybe something wrong with me, I had to leave. Wasn't right for me, now I'm happy, and I can say I'm happy.
Standing by you, your man's beside you, your hand in mine with that ring that I plan to buy you. Expanded my views, just can't describe you. There's no more getting ghosted like ex-phantom guys do. There's no more roller coasting, I just can't deny you. It's like I'm comatose and I'm enchanted by you. It took a while to find you, and man, the hands of time flew. I'm shook and riding by you, I can't abandon my boo. Love of my life, you're stunning and bright, and I hope you've no doubt about becoming my wife every moment. I'm so overcome, it's been quite the emotion to roll over. I'm in despite of the next thing I'm knowing, I'm numb with delight, and you text me and tell me you're coming tonight. It affects me, I'm glowing, I'm sunning the light, and it gets me to flow all this stuff on the mic. Evidently I've lost all control, and it's like I've been steadily more soft, and I don't want to fight it. I know that you're mine, and you know that I'm right, and you're bold and you're fine. I've been told I'm your type, I've been hoping to find someone open, polite, and outspoken. It's like I've been smoking a pipe, cause you're leaving me breathless, a choking device. It's a moment in time, and I'm holding it tight, I'ma hold it for life. Hold it for life, hold it for life. Green light, we're a team tight, now I'm falling. I'm in free flight, but I'm all in. It's extreme right, head revolving, spinning me like you're enthralling. And your dream like I've been drawn in by your sweet side. A complete ride, no more stalling. I love you.
People change,
Yeah.
sad to say, always been this way. Maybe something wrong with me, I had to leave. Now I'm happy, and I can say I'm happy.
Wow. That was sick. I don't think I've ever heard rapping that fast in my life. Damn. I'm thinking, is that sped up? Like, how can somebody do
No.
that? Incredible.
He really raps that fast. It's so crazy.
Yeah, I don't doubt it at all, because there's definitely an art to it, you know? Like all vocal styles, every vocal style has an absolute art. to it. And thanks to my mods for putting links in. So you can, as Chad mentioned, get hold of CDs and merch, and all the links are in the description to Scarlett's stuff. So every link she's got, she's sent to me, and I've put it all in there. So make sure you go and grab all of her stuff. We're going to have a word from our sponsor, and when I bring this up, the cool thing is we found out before the show is that Scarlett uses our sponsor today, DistroKid. How long have you been using DistroKid for, Scarlett?
I've been using them for about a year and a couple months now.
And do you find the experience good? Have you come from any other kind of distro services?
Nope, I've always used DistroKid.
And do you find it easy? Is it something that is no problem for you to do?
I would say DistroKid is one of the best, the only best that I've used, because I've tried many others after I started with DistroKid, and I have had a lot of problems. I've had problems with TuneCore. I've had problems with United Masters. I've had problems with some other one I don't remember the name to. But DistroKid is pretty quick and easy and very simple to get your music up.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad you're getting the best out of it, because I love DistroKid and they are fantastic sponsors here. And here are the prices. So you've got 3 plans that you can choose from. $22.99 is your base price there for a year, and you got unlimited songs, albums, whatever you want. I mean, it's $23. It's ridiculous. That's all you have to pay. I mean, it's like, 5 coffees. It's a week of coffees, and you can just release whatever you like for the whole year. It's fantastic. If you use my code, which is distrokid.com/VIP/Jade Starr, the link's in the description as well, you get 7% off your first year. But what I'm going to talk about today is a service here, which is DistroVid, which is an extension of DistroKid. And what it allows you to do now it's a separate price. So you're looking at $99 a year. You can sign up one artist, and what you get for that is unlimited music videos. And these get released onto your Apple Music page. You get a Vivo account. They appear on Tidal. So when you've got an Apple Music page, like if I jump over here, you've got videos on yours. Am I correct, Scarlett? Do you have videos on your?
I've got like about 8 music videos.
Let's see. Let's see what you get. So if we go over here to Scarlett Starr, to her Apple Music page, you can see here's her songs and her album. And look, all of her music videos are on here as well. So this is how you do it. Yeah. So you get your video clip added to Apple Music. And that's wicked, because for the longest time I was like, how do I get my video clips on there? So now you can actually do it. And you get an official Vivo clip on YouTube, which is separate than, you'll see all the big artists have these, I used to see these clips pop up and go, how do they get a Vivo clip? Where is this Vivo clip? This is how you do it. You actually do it through DistroKid, and it is $99 a year. If we scroll back over here, and this is so you get high def videos on streaming services, includes 4K videos, custom thumbnails. You get an official Vivo video channel. You keep 100% of earnings from views and unlimited uploads. And you can add extra artists for $50 on top of that if you've got multiple artists. And it's really easy to do. I've got a video on this channel of me uploading and going through the whole process, because as you can see here, my band Metheist has a clip up there called World Divided. And you can see it's been sent to all these streaming services. So the Vivo, the Apple Music, and so on. So that is how you do that. $99 a year, and you can have unlimited artists for your name. And that is at DistroVid.com, or you can do it through your DistroKid account by going up here, clicking on DistroVid, and that will take you to go and sign up and do that. I want to thank, as always, DistroKid for sponsoring these shows. As I always say,
I love you, DistroKid.
that's weird and uncomfortable, but I've got to do it. So How do you go about writing lyrics and putting together a song? Do you first reach out to somebody who you want to collaborate with, or do you have a notebook full of lyrics? How do you start the idea of putting together a song, Scarlett?
I actually use my notepad on my phone. So typically sometimes I'll look up idioms online. So for my hang in there, that's an idiom. Basically an idiom is like a term that everybody uses. Like you could say, the pot calling the kettle black. Like that's an idiom. Hang in there. That's an idiom. The birds and the bees. That's an idiom.
Yep.
So that's an easy way of coming up with lyrics. So when you find an idiom that you want to write about, then you write all your lyrics revolved around that. So for me, like the hang in there is like, I know there's some wear and tear. I know there's nobody there, but hang in there. And for the rhyming, I typically use like a rhyme dictionary, or at least I used to. When I first started out in music. Now it kind of comes naturally where I can just think of a rhyme instantly. But there's a rhymezone.com. That's where I used to find my rhyming words for my lyrics. And I always want to make sure that my lyrics are strong. So I don't like to put anything in there that doesn't go with whatever I'm writing about.
I use these all the time as well. Because, sometimes you write a song and you just can't think. And these things, there's so many of these websites. So as you can see, if you've never used one of these before, and Development of a Void says, RhymeZone has saved my life. I was going to say ass many times, a few times. But look at all these words it gives you. So I just wrote in Starr, and look at all these syllables. I mean, there's even words in here that I don't even think are words. That's what's so cool. And, I can't tell you how many times I've used this and had to go and look up what the word means just to make sure it fits.
Yeah, and it also is really great to help with creativity. So you might see a word in there that you would have never thought about using in your song, and it's going to strengthen your vocabulary.
Absolutely. It is a definite thing I use all the time too. So when you're collaborating with somebody, how do you go about reaching out to somebody to collaborate? Do you search around, find somebody you like, or do people reach out to you? How does that work?
I usually don't reach out to people for collabs. I do occasionally, but I've tried every person I've tried reaching out to, it's they're just big-headed and ego. I've had people try to charge me, that don't even have the fan base that I have, and I've put blood, sweat, and tears into my music. So it's just when I see somebody with 100 subscribers and 5 views that are trying to charge me $100 for a collab, and I'm like, wait a second, though, I'm the one who's going to be marketing the video, I'm the one who, I drop money, loads of money behind videos on YouTube ads, Facebook ads, and all that. So it just kind of rubs me the wrong way when people try to charge me when I have a lot more to offer. So typically I just wait for people to come to me.
Absolutely. And now I can tell you back it up because we just showed DistroVid, and you've got all your videos up on there. So that's instantly, it's funny, you've got to spend money to make money as an artist. And I do see people out there go, no, but why would I pay for an ad on YouTube? It's because go and ask the person down the road who has a cafe, do they fucking advertise? Of course they do.
Yeah, and it's the thing, also, music is a business, you can't just expect your talent to pick up and get views, because you've got billions of other artists on the platform that are submitting music every day that might be more talented than you are, and they're not even blowing up.
Yeah, yeah, and there's a lot of people out there who just think, oh, if I just post it to Facebook, that'd be right. And it's if you've got, say you've got 5,000 Facebook fans, trust me, 3% are clicking on your links. That is it. Don't rely on family and friends to click on that shit. They don't give a fuck. They're too busy posting some weird political shit or being racist or some kind of weird shit on Facebook. So you have to promote yourself. And it's a hard thing to do these days because, there are people out there who are making music and they're making high quality music and they struggle with understanding promotion. And
it's basically like betting on yourself. A lot of people don't believe in their music enough to actually put money behind it.
do you think people will come over to your channel and look at your music, look at your attitude, right? Because you need to have an attitude with music. You need to believe in yourself. Do you think people take that as sometimes arrogance or something like that? And
Yeah, I've had a lot of people that think that I'm really stuck up and just arrogant about my music. But the thing is, like, people who really know me know that I'm a really good-hearted and kind person. But in my music, a lot of times I shit talk a lot, but that's like my alter ego. I'm letting people know that I believe in my music and I believe in myself. But a lot of the things that I write about in my music is not like actually how I would talk to somebody in real life.
yeah, Marshall Mathers is a fine example of that, of a character that, people don't. It's strange, how people are unable to split apart the human being from the show, right? Because everything's a performance. Like music is a performance, theatre is a performance, and not everybody has a stage persona and a thing that and we all have our private lives that fucking is private, And this is why so many artists get hounded by media and journalists, and these people push these, like Kurt Cobain's one of these perfect examples. People put him on a pedestal and just drove him so fucking insane that he blows his own brains out, like, and then people are like, oh, well, he was always like that. And there's no accountability. People don't realize that, you've got to market yourself and sell yourself. It's a dog eat dog world out there in all business. Every business there's competition, which competition's awesome, and you've got to sell yourself. And, it's hard to get across that there is a human being there. I don't know. I'm not part of the hip hop world. I would expect there's a lot of, I see it, I guess, in rap, that there's a lot of ego and stuff, especially with men, testosterone and stuff like that. Do you find it? Are there a lot of female hip hop artists that you listen to?
Yeah, I actually really like Cardi B, and I like Lotto and Megan Thee Stallion. And one thing I've also learned about them too, like their personalities are completely different, from their music. Like they just rap about stripping and sex and stuff like that. But like you say, music is a business. You're trying to sell either a product or some type of personality. But when you actually get to know the people behind the music, that's what kind of drew me closer to Cardi B. Because at first I didn't really like her because I didn't like the type of music that she rapped about. But when I got to know her as a person, like I used to watch her Instagram lives, and she's really cool, down to earth.
Yeah, most people are, because they're protecting, like you have to have some form of protection for yourself too, I think, as an artist, because we all have our little quirks that we do behind closed doors. That you have to be able to separate these things, because you can't give everything to everyone, because then they just got more ammo to use against you, it seems. And it's hard too, because this is a social medium and people want more, and you've got to give yourself. Do you have a limit? Are there certain things you will not give to people?
Well, I am one of the people to be like, the game is to be sold, not told.
Yeah.
Like I don't give the game that I know away to people, because I've had so many times that I've got fucked off, and people try to use that and then they stab me in the back with what I gave them. So I will give away like little bits of game, but I'm the type of person, like if you really, really want to learn something, seek and you shall find the truth.
Do you hold grudges, Scarlett?
Yes, I do. I have a grudge that I've had for about 8 months now against another artist that I will never let up on because that's just me, you know, like I've been hurt so many times in the past that if someone hurts me, I'm never going to forgive them. I'm never going to let them back in. But at the same time, like I don't hold the grudge inside. It's more of a protection, you know, against myself to where I'm not going to allow the same thing to happen again.
You hold a grudge in a healthy way. You don't let it eat
Yeah.
you. Because
Right.
because I know there are some people out there, man, who let things eat and eat. And look, I don't know how you do it with the stories you've told us today about your upbringing. You are an incredibly inspirational human being to me. After hearing what you have gone through, to be sitting here today and still positive and hardworking and intense and at the same time very kind. I can tell that as well. So I like that you hold grudges. I do too. And trust me, I've got a few grudges I'm holding at the moment too. But you know what? I'll never make them public because they don't deserve it.
They don't deserve it. Exactly. Like that's the same thing that goes through my mind. You'll see posts I put up every day and I'll be like, if y'all have known me long enough, you know who this is about, but I ain't giving them no clout.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because like on YouTube, there's a lot of people who do bring this clout, do bring it out and make a thing about it. And then all the YouTube drama channels get involved in it and they start making videos on it, like this Colleen idiot chick lately who did that apology video and sung with her ukulele. And like, I'm just watching that going, my Lord, this is the most insensitive piece of shit I've ever heard. Like she's apologizing for grooming children with a ukulele and singing about it. It is the most fucked up thing I've seen on YouTube. But the bigger problem, Miranda Sings, that's her name.
Miranda Sings, oh my God.
And so have you seen what happened? Yeah. So
I haven't seen anything bad from her. So I used to love her.
She's been like, and it's real. She's been like accused of grooming kids, right? And she was bringing them into chats and sending lingerie to them, like 15-year-olds and stuff. And instead of coming out and saying sorry, she came out with a ukulele and wrote this and sung this song about the toxic. Oh, it's so fucking cringe. But the worst thing is that other channels have like used it to make their own channels popular. And they're just like, to me, that's like compounding the abuse. Like, let her just sink, man. Let her sink in that shit. And the funniest thing was she released the song this week on Apple Music. It's so bad. It's so bad. But, this is the YouTube.
She is funny, though. She's hilarious, though. I used to like how she, like, did her lipstick and stuff back in the days.
Yeah, well, you probably won't get to see her much anymore because she's done. If you go and look it up, you'll see it. It's horrific. How do we get onto that? I don't even know how we got on there. So you have your social media accounts. Do you get? I'm curious to know. You talk about haters and stuff. Do people private message you and send hate?
Luckily, no. Because on Facebook, I have my messages turned off, so I don't let people message me on there, and that's the majority of where my fans are on Facebook or YouTube. On Instagram, it's more of a networking for me. So I'm really mainly connected to like artists and some people from labels and stuff like that. But on Facebook, I don't get that, like I said, because I have my messages turned off. My YouTube, there's obviously no private messaging on YouTube. So I don't really have to worry too much about the messages. Now, I have had it a couple times on my Instagram from people who seeked me out on Facebook, and I just block them.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I used to respond to that stuff, and I think you really have to just delete and move on for your own sanity. because even one of our friends of the channel, Pete Johns here, he had a comment on his channel last week, I think it was, where somebody said something negative, and he always responds with kind of smart-ass responses, but not insulting, just a bit smarmy. And he actually got a warning from YouTube for his comment for being a bit smart-assy.
That happened to me one time on Instagram. I almost got banned because I had one person who commented like a picture of me, like a fake picture of me saying 3 questions. Is this a crackhead, a hillbilly, a dumb bitch, or all of the above? And I commented on the photo and said I could actually sue you for defamation for this because you're using my photos and you're making a post about this. And he immediately took it down. Like it was a matter of seconds. He had taken it down. And I put a post up saying, anybody else want to talk about me? I said, because I'm very much like ready, And so that's when some other guy, like I had said, basically like the only reason I even saw this post was because I was tagged in it. But obviously you dug through my Instagram page to find this photo. So look who's watching now. And that's when this guy came back and commented on my post and said, get the facts right. This post had nothing to do with you. And I commented back. I was so angry at that point where I commented back and said, just look at the fucking photo, you dumb bitch. You don't know anything, obviously, because he's using my photo. And like Instagram like immediately deleted my comment and said that I was doing hate speech. And I'm like, bro, like y'all are freaking banning me, but y'all don't realize this guy is spreading a picture of me around asking derogatory questions about me.
Yeah, look, the system's broken everywhere with the hate speech and context and understanding exactly what's going on. I mean, most people on this channel know what happened to me. I wrote a song about hate speech towards trans people, and I used a clip of somebody actually saying hate speech towards trans people and me being trans and all this shit, and I got the hate speech thing and they took my song. It's like, oh man, there's got to be a better way. I don't know how we're going to get around this kind of stuff. I know they're trying to create a safe environment, but yeah, without context, I mean, I love AI and AI generated music and all this kind of cool technology that's happening, but AI monitoring our communication, it's not working.
I don't even understand how it's considered hate speech to call somebody a dumb bitch after they called me a dumb bitch. I'm just retaliating.
There should be a sticks and stones policy.
Yeah, and like now I get to the point where I don't even respond because I have that fear of getting banned, like on social networks. So if I do respond, like I kind of follow up with that smart ass comments too. Like even sometimes like I'll just drop a song with the smart ass comments. Like they were just I had thousands of people commenting on my teeth every single day. And I just put that song out there about it may be my crooked teeth you think I don't fucking see. And then I'll comment to people on my page when they'll say, you need to fix your teeth. And I'll be like, oh yeah, well, I'm glad you noticed.
What song's got that in it? Which one was it that had that line in it?
It's called Say Something About Me. It's in my lyric video section. And I actually made that instrumental and everything myself too. So that's like a fully produced by me.
We're going to play it right now. I'm just adding it in here because I can. Let's go. Here it is. So it's only 4 days ago, yeah? No, that's not it. Say something. Where is it? Where are we? How long ago is it?
It's months ago. It's in my lyric video section.
All right, I'm just looking now. Let's find it. Playlists. Lyric videos. Original lyric videos.
Yeah.
Here it is. Let's play it now. And let's say fuck you to all the people talking about crooked teeth and this and that. Go look in the mirror and go fuck yourself. All right, let's... I wasn't going to play this, but we're going to do it. Just make sure I've got that muted so we can bring it up. You ready, folks? Let's do this. We'll see you back here shortly, yeah? Let's do it.
How many people have told me I can do anything? funny thing because they don't know a damn about me.
Why don't know a damn about me?
Keep on doing what I love and for some reason y'all wanna shove me. And I understand to some degree because there's things you just can't change about me. Keep on eating in your speech to say something about me. It may be my crooked teeth you think I don't fucking see. Keep on eating in your speech to say something about me. It may be my crooked teeth you think I don't fucking see. How many people have told me I can do anything? To me that's a funny thing because they don't know a damn about me. Keep on doing what I love and for some reason y'all wanna shut me. Understand to some degree because there's things you just can't change about me. Keep on eating in your speech to say something about me. It may be my crooked teeth you think I don't fucking see. Keep on eating in your speech to say something about me. It may be my crooked teeth you think I don't fucking see. Keep on eating in your speech to say something about me. It may be my crooked teeth you think I don't fucking see. Keep on eating in your speech to say something about me. It may be my crooked teeth you think I don't fucking see.
So much mad respect. I knew I was picking a good artist when I asked you to come on. I knew there was, a lot of good reasons to have you on, not only your music, but I knew your attitude is the right attitude to have. And I knew you'd been through a lot, and hopefully this is inspiring people. Wicked song. Tell people how it is. Fuck you. That's what I think. I'm definitely going to get demonetized for this interview, and I love it. Hey, if you like,
well, the good thing about YouTube is you can actually cuss as long as it's not like within the first 8 seconds.
Yeah. Well, they kind of do. So I don't know. My videos always every day get done. So and now you probably don't know this. One at a time. I think it was last year. I fell over in my studio and I landed on my desk here. On this face first, right in here, and I smashed my front tooth out, and I had to do shows on for a week and a half with this huge gap in my tooth, and nobody gave me shit about it except for this guy Russ8889, who luckily he's my friend and he's allowed to do that. But I swear if it was anyone else, I would have smashed their heads in. But I hated it, but I didn't need to be reminded of it. I had to look at Russ, and look what he writes: the best time of my life. What a loser you are, Russ. I hate you. You're lucky you're my mate. But I get it all the time too. People will send messages going, "You're a tranny," and I'm like, you think I don't fucking know that? Thanks for the news flash. You think I haven't gone through my whole life dealing with that? Like observational humor much, dickhead. When lockdown hit, how did you cope during that time?
I honestly don't even hardly remember.
Really?
Yeah, I was in and out of hospitals.
Oh, right.
Yeah. To me, like a lot of times going to the mental hospital is honestly was like a vacation. Like I was just like, sometimes I would lie just to get in there so that I could get away from society.
It would probably, I'm roughly joking this, it probably would have been more sane in there than what was going on in the real world with all that stuff, because people were losing their mind during that. I mean, people were dying, but some people were being incredibly creative. Look,
I definitely went crazy. I mean, I was ordering all my groceries online, which costed like twice as much.
Right.
But yeah, at the same time, I'm really not the type of person to just like at least go out all the time. I could never really afford to just go out a lot. So it really wasn't much different than the way I live day to day.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm a shut-in.
Yeah.
My doctors have me on vitamin D pills, and they're like, "You need to see sunlight, idiot." Like, but sunlight has people, and I don't want to deal with those people. So let's talk about how you make music. So, what kind of software do you use? I mean, how long have you been doing it? What's your journey of actually making music?
I use BandLab. I prefer BandLab, even though like after about 3-4 months of making music, I went to college for audio engineering and audio production. So I learned how to use Logic and Reaper and those softwares. And I actually, that last song that you played, to Say Something About Me, I used Reaper to do that one. But to me, even after learning how to use Logic and Reaper, I still just bounced back to BandLab because I feel like it's just so much easier for me. So I record in BandLab, and if the vocals don't sound ready, then I'll go and switch it over to Reaper and use the equalizers in there to fix my voice. But if I feel like it sounds good, then I'm just not going to touch it. So I just use whatever I feel like fits the song better. A lot of the songs that I do, since a lot of my branding is heavy auto-tune, and that's what I like, I just typically stick with BandLab. But yeah, sometimes Reaper is necessary to equalize things better than BandLab.
BandLab's wicked. Like it's an amazing technology. I mean, because you can use it on a desktop and then take it away on your mobile device and keep working on it there. I mean, it's one of those really overlooked things.
And a lot of audio engineers will look down on BandLab, but even in college, I mean, my professor who's worked with dozens of famous artists said that a DAW is a DAW. It doesn't matter what it is. You could be on BandLab, you could be on Logic, you could be on GarageBand. Like a DAW is a DAW. It's all about how well you know how to use it.
Yeah, that is fantastic advice. I mean, here, even this show, like where I focus on making music on iOS, I can't tell you how many times you've gone somewhere and there's a bunch of musicians and someone will introduce me like, oh, this is Jade. Jade makes music on iPad. Like it's some kind of like a deformity or something. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? You do know that Billie Eilish like made her music in GarageBand. Like have you not moved with technology? Like you can.
In my opinion, like people who look down on you just because the DAW you use, like for some reason, I guess they just feel like they're better than you. You know?
Yeah, and there is
they're haters.
Yeah, there's an old school mentality for some reason. There's still a mindset of people out there who are like, if it's not recorded in a real studio, then it's not real music. It's like, really? Because I see a lot more people making music from home studios because we have the technology now. Like, I think people...
And sometimes, like, you wouldn't even know that they used BandLab until they tell you.
No. Like, how many people have messaged you, Scarlett, and gone, oh, I really like that song, but I can't say I'm going to buy it because you recorded it using BandLab.
I mean, I've had so many people say, I love your song. Oh, my God. Like, where did you record it? And as soon as I tell them that I did it on BandLab, then they're like, oh, we need to get you into a real studio. I'm like, but you just said you loved my song. Now, all of a sudden, your opinion's changed.
A real studio. So you can be a real musician. Yeah. Yeah. But there is no correct way to be a musician. That is, it's like you said, it is go with what makes you happy. Yeah, go with the things that you understand and you're comfortable in. Like it's the same thing. You're not going to go out and wear a pair of shoes that are 8 sizes too big. That doesn't make sense.
And I do have like a real studio like mine. If I've got this right here. It's a Novation, you know.
You've got all the gear. What kind of
I've got all the gear.
You've got an interface and everything, yeah? What kind of interface do you use?
I have a Scarlett interface.
Perfect. It's the most used interface on the planet. The Scarlett interface, you know, and I mean it's ridiculous. I still see people go, but I use this interface. It's like really, it's all digital, man. It's all it's all digital. I don't get what the deal is. Hello, Tony.
The funny thing, I don't even use my interface that much because the new technology out's got built-in interfaces.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there are mics now that are available that are interfaces. You know, the USB microphones with 32-bit float points and all this stuff where you can sing as loud as you want and it will never peak. I mean, the technology just keeps continuing to change and get smaller. I mean, I have this thing here. I've got it plugged in. This thing is bonkers. I've done a show on this. This is from IK Multimedia. This is a condenser microphone, an audio interface. It's everything.
Yeah. I use this
nuts.
one right here, which is it's a Audio Technica 2150 or something.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a built-in interface, but BandLab, I'll literally just go to the EQ and I'll just practice, like throw out some vocals, and then I'll just mess with the EQ until it gets the voice where I want it.
Yeah, and as Russ says here, a real studio uses digital recording, same as any other PC, Mac, or iPad. Absolutely. We're not in the days of tape anymore, where tape used to cost like $300 for a reel of tape that went for 15 minutes. And if you fucked up, it's written to tape. You're fucked. You have to splice the tape. We're in a completely different world these days with recording. So I'm going to play another song and then we're going to come to the home stretch because we've got about 17 minutes before we get out of here. And just to let you guys know, I'm going to dump you all over to a premiere straight after this show. Leela, one of our amazing admins whose birthday it is today, she's releasing a new song. So I'll dump you all over to that premiere. Yeah. Let's jump back over here and we're going to play Leave With Me. Do you want to give me the goss on this song?
Honestly, this song is just kind of like random. It doesn't have too much of a meaning.
How did it come about though? How did the collaboration, because it's a collaboration, isn't it?
Yeah. Big Chris messaged me and he said, "Hey, I want you on this track." So it's basically about, partying at the club, bringing home girls, drinking, so I just kind of put my lines on it.
Okay. Because you're not at the club drinking and bringing home girls.
Yeah, because it's not really my type of style. So I just kind of went with it.
Excellent. I love that. All right, guys, let's play this and we'll come back and bring this show home. All right, let's do it. Everything's good. Lined up, you ready? This is Leave With Me.
Damn, Big Chris is getting this. Damn, Big Chris is getting this.
As soon as I walked in the door, niggas start mugging and them bitches say, whoa. The gang in here with me, yeah, you know that shit for sure. And yeah, you know we all got money to go and throw. So girl, go and get your ass on the pole. Let me see you drop that ass straight to the floor. Girl, right after you go and get the dough. You gon' be leaving here with me and that's for sure. As soon as I walked in the door, niggas start mugging and them bitches say, whoa. The gang in here with me, yeah, you know that shit for sure. And yeah, you know we all got money to go and throw. So girl, go and get your ass on the pole. Let me see you drop that ass straight to the floor. Girl, right after you go and get the dough. You gon' be leaving here with me and that's for sure.
Party all night long. Party all night long. Is this all right or wrong? I don't care. This is my drinking song. Things are lit as fuck tonight. There's no need to be uptight. Well, then I don't know what's right. I may not even be done by daylight. By daylight. Party all night long. Party all night long. Is this alright or wrong?
As soon as I walked in the door, niggas start mugging and them bitches say, whoa. The gang in here with me, yeah, you know know that shit for sure. And yeah, you know we all got money to go and throw. So girl, go and get your ass on the pole. Let me see you drop that ass straight to the floor. Girl, right after you go and get the dough. You gon' be leaving here with me and that's for sure. As soon as I walked in the door, niggas start mugging and them bitches say, whoa. The gang in here with me, yeah, you know that shit for sure. And yeah, you know we all got money to go and throw. So girl, go and get your ass on the pole. Let me see you drop that ass straight to the floor. Girl, right after you go and get the dough. You gon' be leaving here with me and that's for sure.
Party all night long. Party all night long. Is this alright or wrong? I don't care. This is my drinking song. I won't ever leave this club. If anything, I'm acting up. Let's crank the music up. Let's make this club fill up. Party all night long. Party all night long. Is this alright or wrong? I don't care. This is my drinking song.
Niggas start mugging and them bitches say, whoa. The gang in here with me, yeah, you know that shit for sure. And yeah, you know we all got money to go and throw. So girl, go and get your ass on the pole. Let me see you drop that ass straight to the floor. Girl, right after you go and get the dough. You gon' be leaving here with me and that's for sure. As soon as I walked in the door, niggas start mugging and them bitches say, whoa. The gang in here with me, yeah, you know that shit for sure. And yeah, you know we all got money to go and throw. So girl, go and get your ass on the pole. Let me see you drop that ass straight to the floor. Girl, right after you go and get the dough. You gon' be leaving here with me and that's for sure.
Party all night long. Party all night long.
Oops, what am I doing? I hit the wrong screen. There we go. I'm showing behind the scenes. Now, I had to put us both up during that song because I looked at you and my head's going like this and your head's going like that. How important is it that you should like your own music, Scarlett?
I feel like it's pretty important. A lot of times I don't. I'll like hear my song and then I'll ask my husband if he likes the song and he'll be like, "Oh, this sounds good." And I'll be like, "Are you sure? Because something just seems off about it. Like, I don't know what it is. But is the vocals too high? Are they too low?" Because sometimes I feel like I have way too much of the high end on my vocals. Sometimes I feel like it's not enough high end and that my voice sounds too deep. And it's like, sometimes it takes forever just to find like that perfect range where I actually feel like my voice doesn't sound weird.
It's a healthy thing, and you know what? It's never going to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing music for 35 years plus, and there comes a time when you just have to go, it's not perfect, and let it go. But I think it's important to listen to your own music. Do you listen to your own music when you're just doing shit? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good.
All the time.
Good. Yeah, and I think more people should. I know there's some people out there, I can't listen to my own music. What does your husband think about your music career?
My husband thinks my music career is awesome.
Yeah. So you've got a
he has a lot of faith in me. He always tells everyone that I'm a musical pop star genius and a rapper genius and that people just don't know who they're messing with.
That makes me so happy to hear your story today and now to hear where you are as a person at this time and place and have somebody supportive and loving and makes you oh man, that makes me feel so good. So that's awesome. Because you are awesome and your music is fantastic and you are a beautiful human being. And I'm sure everybody here who's been watching this today will agree with me. Yes, Jenny says, because he's right. And Russ says, "I'm glad you're on your feet again." I don't know who that. I'm guessing that's to you, but yes, it's very inspirational to have you on here today and hear your story. I'm really thankful for that. We are going to get out of here because we've got one more song to play. I have to admit, it's my favorite song. I love this song. This was really my introduction to your music. I heard this and was just like, yeah, girl. I am so on this. But the question I ask everybody who comes on the show, the final question is, if you were giving advice to somebody just starting out in making music, when do you think would be the best time for them to start?
Now. I would say, like, the longer you put it off, the longer it's going to take until you even get in the necessary practice that you need to be able to get better. A lot of people will say, oh, well, I'm just not ready to drop music yet. Well, you're never ready. You're never going to be ready until you get in that practice.
Do it now, motherfuckers. All right, so.
Now or never.
Now, before we get out of here, you have a new album that you have dropped this year. Here it is here. Do you want to tell us about the process of recording this? Because this is wicked.
Okay, so this album here, it's actually now, the album cover has changed to like a blue because it's a remastered edition. But this album was actually all singles when I first started recording, and it took me about 8 months to record every last one of these songs, and eventually I just took all my singles down and concocted it into an album.
It is a killer album. It is wicked. I've had this since I came across your music. It is just wicked. I implore you to get it, folks. Why has your camera got all blurry for some reason?
Oh, I don't know. I also sell the album physically. So
you've got CDs as well, yes. Now, where can we get the CDs from?
The CDs are all on my channel, in my bio, like under my songs, so you can find that. And then I've also got this CD for those who want to hear like my crappiest songs ever recorded. These are my first songs.
Oh, wow.
That I've ever made.
Wow.
And then I also have a rap album, but that one isn't available on YouTube because it's got middle fingers up in the album, so they won't let me feature that. But if you go to my website at scarlettstarvip.com, you can find that album as well.
There it is down there. Thanks, Leela, for putting it in there. So go and buy the CDs because you know what? CDs are a dying art, man. And you know, I love CDs. I'm about to release a new album myself, and I'm releasing it on CD and vinyl. And I can't wait because there's nothing better than holding a physical CD. It just is what it is. It's a beautiful thing because so much love goes into the artwork, the book, your inlay. And are yours wrapped in plastic? I see they're wrapped in plastic.
Yeah, they're still wrapped in plastic. I will not open them. It's like, for me, it's a legendary item, you know?
I regretted getting mine in plastic. With the last run of my CD, I regretted it because when I would do gigs and people would buy them and they want me to sign them there, everybody had trouble getting them open. And there was always like this, I can't get it open. Can you help? And it was always this thing that just made it, I'm like, I won't do it this time. I won't get them wrapped this time. Because
the last CDs that I had I had a few people order autographed CDs, and I had to order them directly to my house, and I had to open them all up and sign them. And it wasn't that bad, but it was just kind of frustrating trying to open all the plastic.
Yeah, they do them way too tight. That sucks. I'm definitely not doing it this time. So, folks, make sure if you're using streaming services or you don't want to buy the CD, go and buy the CD, but make sure you go Spotify. Now, I've put a link down below I've just put a Song Whip link, so you'll see that in the description. And when you load that up, that has a link to all of the streaming services, so you can choose which one is your poison, and then you can go from there. All right. We're going to get out of here. We've got Leela's premiere coming up in about 9 minutes' time. Scarlett, thank you so very much for coming on the show and being so easy to get on. I love, I do love it when it's an easy artist to get on. Your response to, everything I needed was just perfect. And, you worked out Zoom, perfect. So thank you so much. And from my heart.
We still got that last song, right?
Yeah, we're still playing it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm missing that. And thank you so much for your brutal honesty. Thank you so much. And I wish you all the best in your career. I'll be following you, seeing you around the traps, obviously. And is there anything you want to say to everybody in the chat before we get out of here and play the last song?
Believe in yourself. Because that's the most important thing, believing in yourself.
100%. And thank you all for being here, everybody. You guys are awesome. Thank you all for hanging out today. We're going to play this last song. It is my favorite. It is called Ice on Your Neck. What is it about, Scarlett?
Ooh, this is a hater to the haters. This is actually like when like old friends, you know, that want to come back in your life and be a part of your life, and they were never there before, and now all of a sudden they see something in you that they never saw before. And I'm just kind of letting them all know, you know, all the crap that I went through, all the bruises and pain that I had to endure, like it's too late now.
This is a banger. You guys are going to love this. Mm-hmm. Also want to thank DistroKid for sponsoring the show. As always, thank you, DistroKid. Love you so much. Remember, you can sign up using my link up there and get 7% off your plan for the first year. Let's do this. You guys, you'll see me next on the weekend. I'm doing an opening hour, and guess what? It is a community covers song show, so I'm singing your songs this week live on the opening hour. So come and join me for that. And next week we got something special. There's no interview next week. Next week we're playing part 2 of Russ 8889's documentary series, which is about his life as a musician and in the whole DJ scene, in the dance scene. So the first part was amazing. Second part's going to be even better. So hopefully you can join us for that. All right, we're out of here. This is Ice on My Neck. Remember, folks, do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better, and we'll all rise together. See you next time. Bye-bye. Can you just stay on the line too, Scarlett, so I can say goodbye to you after the show? And we'll see you later. Ice on my neck. Yeah.
Eyes wide, I got goosebumps. All these days I was bruised up. The pain inside was a loose end. I would've thought you wanted me dead. Couldn't wait, I was agitated. Saw all the money I could be making. Felt strange, but you all hated. Then the love I had, it all faded. Want a life, not a disaster. It made me get up and hustle faster. I don't give a fuck about no bitch that thinks she inherited shit. I had to work hard to get on my grind. Though real love can be hard to find. Got a bitch who smiles like she my friend, but I ain't tripping. Bitches on my neck. You weren't there when I was struggling. You weren't there when I was hustling. But now that I'm up and shit, y'all hoes wanna suck my dick. Fuck your dirty ass mind games that you've been trying to play all day. I ain't got no time to count your cards. I've been going in all the way my way. 20 bitches think I'm for the clout. Dumbass bitch, your goddamn mouth. You don't know a goddamn thing about me. And I know damn well some things you never seen. Throwing dirt on me because you envy me. I really ain't the one you wanna be enemies. I'm cool as fuck, but bitch, cross that line. I warned you over dozens of times. Ain't going back there, ain't no wine. Bitch, you hurt me one too many times. Gotta heal myself before I try to help you. And to heal myself means the friendship's through. I've been there before, I don't know about you, but do whatever the fuck you wanna do. I got real shit, gotta worry about. So fuck the clout, bitch, it ain't what I'm about. 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 I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. Eyes wide, I got goosebumps. All these days I was bruised up. The pain inside was a loose end. I would've thought you wanted me dead. Couldn't wait, I was agitated. I saw all the money I could be making. Felt strange, but you all hated. Then the love I had, it all faded. Want a life, not a disaster. It made me get up and hustle faster. Don't give a fuck about no bitch that thinks she inherited shit. Work hard to get on my grind. The real love can be hard to find. Got a bitch who smiles like she my friend, but I ain't tripping. Bitches on my neck. Eyes wide, I got goosebumps. All these days I was bruised up. The pain inside was a loose end. I would've thought you wanted me dead. Couldn't wait, I was agitated. I saw all the money I could be making. Felt strange, but you all hated. Then the love I had, it all faded. I want a life, not a disaster. get up and hustle faster. I don't give a fuck about no bitch that thinks she inherited shit. I had to work hard, get on my grind. The real love can be hard to find. Got a bitch who smiles like she my friend, but I ain't tripping bitches on my neck. Weren't there when I was struggling, you weren't there when I was hustling. But now that I'm up and shit, y'all hoes wanna suck my dick. Fuck your dirty ass mind games that you've been trying to play all day. I ain't got no time to count your cars, I've been going in all the way my way. Corny bitches think I'm for the clout. Dumbass bitch, shut your goddamn mouth, you don't know a goddamn thing about me. And I know damn well some bitch you never seen throwing dirt on me because you envy me. I really ain't the one you wanna be enemies. I'm cool as fuck, but bitch, you crossed the line. I warned you over dozens of times. I ain't going back, there ain't no rewind. Bitch, you hurt me one too many times. Gotta heal myself before I try to heal you. I feel myself.